guys, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to another book chat. This is our January book chat, all the books that I've read in the month of January, which is actually January 31st today. So this is like very fresh. This is very live and in your face. Not live, but you know what I'm saying? Yes, I am going through all the books that I read, and we're just going to get into it, right? We're going to start off with the first book that y'all might be like, that looks a little familiar, because I did talk about this book in my December wrap up, but I didn't actually finish reading it until a little after midnight on the 1st. So technically it is a January read. So I am going to talk about it again because I really did enjoy this one. It's called Every Time I Go on Vacation, Someone Dies. It's by Mack. And based off of how this reads, this is book 1 in this series. I think it's like called the Vacation series or whatever. I really enjoyed this. This was really light. It is a mystery, who done it, who's doing it type of book. It really does remind me of books by like Benjamin Stevenson, who wrote Everyone on This Train is a Suspect, Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone, and Everyone Says Christmas Has a Secret. They're funny. They take you through the process of what it is to write a mystery and use that to figure out what happened. I will say when they like revealed who was doing it, I was like, that's not who I wanted it to be, but I still enjoyed it and I liked how they took us through it. So this is definitely one that I would say if you like something that's lighter, but you still like the thrill and mystery aspect of reading, then this is a really good one to read. And I am excited to read more in that series. So that's one I definitely keep putting on like my list. I just got my locks done, so I feel like whenever I first get them done, they're kind of stiff. So I'm like, I felt like that was sticking out. But anyway, that is something I would continue to put on my list because it gives me something lighter in all of the other reads. The next one I read was How to Make a Horror Movie and Survive. It's by DiLouie. So many things. I don't understand. If you know something is possessed, you should probably leave it alone. But this book literally goes to show how people just want what they want. So this book is about Mack. He is a director. He does horror. He really loves horror. And he has like this big franchise movie that hit the stage in the 80s and everybody loves. But he feels like it's inauthentic. He wants real, true horror. And he can't get his agent, producer, people to really buy into that. So he basically discovers that this piece of equipment is a little different. And he figures this out early on, but do people ever stop while they're ahead? No, they do not. And then you have the poor girl, Sally Priest, who wants to be a final girl. I feel like you guys know where I'm going with this. And a bunch of stuff happens. I'm okay with how this one ended. Something did happen. I was pissed. But for the most part, I was okay. But I'm just like, why are we trying to be with the mess? Why are we doing the things that we know we shouldn't do? So a really, really good one. Very horrifying. Like very, very horrifying. And actually 2 things happened that pissed me off, which is why I was so irritated with Max when he just didn't do what needed to be done. Because like, why? Anyway. The next one is called Extinction. This one is by Preston. This one threw me for a loop because I was definitely shocked at what was going on. This one gives more detective thrill, but still with an element of like, ooh, shudder. Like, why are we doing this? Like, what is this unknown thing out there causing all of this chaos? I will say this book can kind of drag a little bit. I really enjoyed it, but I think like for some people they may find like it drags and it doesn't get to the point quick enough. But because I enjoyed like the little relationship between the older sheriff and the younger, I'm trying to find the sheriff's name. Okay, James, the older sheriff, James Colcord, and the basically Colorado Bureau of Investigation. So like that special division of the police force, Francine Cash, Agent Cash. I enjoyed like seeing them work together. So for me, I think it could have moved faster, but when it twisted, I was like, oh my gosh. And then finding out like how everybody kind of fits in the puzzle, bananas. But definitely enjoyed this one. Basically, a billionaire couple goes missing when they visit this resort that has found how to de-extinct animals. So there are mammoths and other animals that we don't see. So a little Jurassic Park-ish, but in a different form because there was other horror lurking. So that one really good. Definitely recommend it. The next one is one of my Dollar Tree reads by an author I am familiar with, or author duo, Greer, Hendricks, and Pekkanen. I actually read 2 books by them this month. This one is called Anonymous Girl. Their first book that I read was called The Wife Between Us, which I think is the first book they actually read together. I think Anonymous Girl is the second. No, Anonymous Girl is the first, I believe. The Wife Between Us is the second, and the other one I'm going to talk about is the third. They did come out with another one, I guess, either this year or last year. But here's the thing. Like, it's basically about this girl who needs money, who gets into this study on moral and ethics, and in a pretty much unethical way, and lots of things occur. But the thing that gets me is like, are you really that desperate to have attention or a person that you could not see through what was going on? Like, you could not clue into it. It does take place in New York. I will say there are some trigger warnings regarding some things that happen in the book. But yeah, it just, and then you find out once again who all is a part of this mess, how they play a part, why they're doing this thing. Yeah, and poor girl, what's her name? Jessica was just taken through the ringer. But some of it, I feel like she brought on herself. And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the second. This is a book I just finished. I actually finished it last night. But this one is called You Are Not Alone. It's by the same duo. This one is about the girl named Shay Miller. Once again, she wants love, she wants friendship, she wants relationships, she wants all these things, but she's just so desperate for them, like she can't see what's going on. So it's her looking and longing for a life, and then her running into these 2 sisters that seem to have this incredible life, this incredible group of friends, and like she thinks that's what she wants. I'm kind of paraphrasing. But yeah, it takes a little turn, but the fact that she didn't, and I feel like they're in these 2 books at least, out of all 3 that I've read, I feel like I like The Wife Between Us the best. I don't feel like the desperation was as heavy in that one, but I read that over a year ago, so I can't remember. I do remember though that I really enjoy it, and these 2 I liked. But Lord have mercy, the level of desperation that these 2 women have. So this one basically is about a girl. Like I said, she witnesses something very horrific that happens, and in that she gets tied up with this sister duo, and all the warning signs were there. The other thing I don't like is there's a character who is just so willing to believe the bad. It's like, but you've known this person longer. You just met this person. Like, I think this author duo just likes to throw very unwise people in their books. But I did enjoy reading them. That's the one thing I will say. This one I thought was going to have a more thrilling end. This one did wrap up a little bit quickly, but I enjoyed this one. I felt like this one was more thrilling because I'm like, oh my gosh, what is literally going to happen? But yeah, two good ones that I read. And I feel like they're easy reads. Their chapters are usually short. They typically do a lot of past and present in different perspectives, which makes the books move faster. I do wish in You Are Not Alone that they elaborated on some of the other women in the group. I feel like because they didn't dig deeper, it's like, are they as clueless? Like, you know that there are things they don't know, but the level of cluelessness there is like, are they really that clueless? Why can't we get more on them? So that is one thing I wish was better. So thirsty. By Rachel Harrison. Now, I read one of her books, Such Sharp Teeth, and I enjoyed that one a lot better. this book just aggravated me. First of all, it's about a girl by the name of Sloane. She dreads her birthday. She's dreading her life. Her husband's pretty much scum. He's cheated on her in the past, but, you know, they've stayed together. And she has this friend, Naomi, who is very outgoing. But in my opinion, Naomi was not her friend. This is actually a book we read in our book club at work. And I was literally like, Naomi is not this girl's friend. Her husband was also trash. She was just around trash people. And she needed to find people who actually cared about her. Because during no part of the story did I feel like her friend actually cared about her. So they basically, it is a vampire novel. So there are going to be vampires in here. Thanks to Naomi and her ignorance and her shenanigans. Yeah, they go through a lot. They go through a lot in this book. This book is supposed to be focusing on the dynamics of friendship and friendship with women. But I just feel like this girl was not her. Like, she was not her friend. And I can't get past that. So that's that one. The last book that I'm going to talk about was my most favorite read for the month. It is called Assassins Anonymous by Rob Hart. What bothers me so much is I've had this book since last August. It was actually a book that my daughter picked out when I let her and my sister pick my books. And I just finally decided to pick it up and I loved it. It is about these former assassins who are basically in AA trying to, you know, manage their addiction to, you know, taking people out. And they all worked in different areas. Like, mostly it's either they were working with a special, like, division in, like, the government or, like, mercenaries type things like that. But what happens is one of their identities is compromised. And when I tell you this book twisted and turned and grabbed my heart, like, I was literally like, oh my gosh, what is going to happen? Something at the end absolutely tore me apart. But I really enjoyed this and had a really good twist that I personally did not see coming. And I highly recommend this. And I'm so mad it sat on my shelf so long. The chapters are really easy to get through. It does go between past and present. So highly, highly, highly recommend. This is literally, I'm pretty sure when I do my 2025 favorites, this is going to be on it. So those are the books I read. We have 7 reads. Is that correct? Yeah, 7 reads for the month. Let's get them, I think. Yeah. 7 different ones. Showing you all of our books, our nice little stack. Overall, I was really happy. There wasn't like a book that I hated. It was more like the characters. But this is what we got through this month. Let me know if you've read any of these. How was your reading for January? I'd love to hear about it. Next week, I have a really cool video. I am actually going to find, you gotta stay on theme, right? We got to bring the love. So I have a pretty cool video coming next week with some book choices for that. Yeah, so I'm excited to hear what you guys read. If you've read any of these, let me know. My name is Sarah. For those of you who are new here, you know, thanks for stopping by. Stick around, join the family. For those of you who keep coming back, thank you so much. And I'll see you in the next one.